If you've been enjoying our show, please give us a like. And if you're new here, maybe subscribe.
Oh, wait.
Yes?
Definitely subscribe.
Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Emilio. That's my friend Christian. We build characters for D&D 5e based on all sorts of different and generally random prompts and parameters. If you've been enjoying our show, give us a like. And if you're new here, you better subscribe. And now, let's roll characters. Today, we are super excited to have Jessica Marcrum rolling with us. Jessica, welcome to LRC.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Jessica is also known as Angry Nerd Girl and is a social worker and 3-time Emmy nominee who dreams of crushing the patriarchy and recycling the rich.
Nice.
A brain witch by day, she spends her evenings creating games, supplements, and other TTRPG goodies, including the Book of Seasons, College of Caterwauling, and Dumpster Fire. Find her at MissJess03 on Twitter, watch her stream at Angry Nerd Girl on Twitch, or learn more about her work at JessicaMarcrumWrites.com. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, that's me.
Okay.
I write about cats and stuff.
Nice.
Today we're going to be rolling a character using the Lorelei race from the Uncaged Volume IV supplement. And so, Jessica, could you please tell us a little bit more about Uncaged and the Lorelei race?
Yeah, so Uncaged was started by Ashley Warren. Basically, Uncaged was supposed to be a feminist take on monsters of marginalized genders.
Awesome.
And giving adventures that took those monsters and kind of gave them agency and let them tell their own stories. There's 4 different volumes. There's, I think, 97 adventures now. Each volume has about 25 adventures in it, except Volume 4, which I think only has 20. So we put together the Uncaged Grimoire, which has the Uncaged class, and then several playable monster races. One of which I wrote, which is the Lorelei. So the Lorelei is kind of like, if you've heard of a Rusalka or a Siren, she's the German version. In a past life, I was an opera singer. There's a beautiful piece by Franz Liszt based on a poem by Heinrich Heine. Sorry, you're going to get all nerdy from me now.
This is great.
Go, yeah.
Called Die Lorelei, and it's basically the legend of the beautiful Lorelei who sits on the rocks and combs her golden hair with a golden comb and sings with her golden voice and doesn't pay attention to all the sailors who just dash themselves at the rocks at her feet. And she doesn't notice that they're all dying. And it ends with it saying like, and that's what she did with her singing, and but in German. And I actually have that tattooed on my back.
Oh, so cool.
Wow.
Because I was like, that's me. I'm the Lorelei.
That's amazing.
I feel her. There's not just one Lorelei. Like, there's a lookout. Men, women, non-binary, gender people, they all kind of grow their hair long and wear these drapey, gauzy fabrics so that people think there's only one, but anybody can take turns as the lookout. And they have a vocal weapon that you can use when you're playing as them. And they're really not supposed to use it when they're looking out, but sometimes they get distracted and just start singing to themselves. And, you know, that's when people die, and oops.
Classic singing issue.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
I just love any sort of, like, you know, playable ancestry that is rooted in, you know, like smashing the patriarchy. Like, that's cool. Let's do that. Let's have that be built in.
I wanted to make them really environmentalist because they are all tied to the river. Like, the Lorelei herself is specific to the Rhine. But I put it that they can be, you know, from any river, and the name of the river is their last name. Environmentalist singers, they're basically, you know, college students.
Do you have your dice ready, Jessica?
I have all my dice.
Excellent. Okay, so typically, of course, we would roll for ancestry and culture, but in this case, both ancestry and culture will be Lorelei. And so if you could, please, Jessica, roll us a d12 for class.
I said I had all the dice, and now I'm like, what's a d12 look like? 7.
A paladin, a d20 for background, please.
17.
A spy, a d4 for gender, please.
1.
Okay, it's going to be a guy. So, Jessica.
Yeah.
Do you have any initial thoughts on who this character might be?
Lorelei's are their 2 boosts are 2 con and charisma, so it makes sense to be like a paladin. So I could see him being maybe a paladin who serves a water deity or a nature deity, kind of going out to protect the rivers.
I think what I'm sort of imagining is, I mean, it's the familiar story of like a city that's getting too big and encroaching on land nearby.
Where we were at was trying to figure out what sort of heinous kind of doings could this neighboring gnome city or society or whatever be doing that would force this Lorelei to sort of leave the community, force a water deity to call this Lorelei. And we're also wondering if there was some sort of mining target that would be really offensive in some way.
The gnomes might be being controlled or tricked by something, some powerful creature like a devil, a mind flayer, a beholder, something. I
was just thinking of Beholder.
Beholder,
nice,
right?
perfect.
Something that's in the shadows, and so they think that they're just mining for like valuable resources, gems, or something like that. But really, there's this hidden underground temple that the beholder wants this, to find the secrets, and so it is forcing them to mine deeper and deeper, which is then just polluting everything around.
I love that.
I think that's great. And then, it's so heinous that water deity has to call our Lorelei into action, and even to the point of having to sort of, renounce their current station in this tight-knit community. What would it take for Lorelei to infiltrate a non-Lorelei sort of culture? Because one of the things I think that I recall is that when they sort of engage with other cultures, yeah, exactly. So how does this Lorelei get the knack or the skill to do such a thing?
I think he might have a leg up if this is the gnomish culture that was like next to his river. He might know some people in there.
Okay.
And maybe they can help him overcome his innate weirdness. Like, there's a Lorelei quirk table on here and everything, so he might have some extra weird thing.
I wonder if this water deity actually points him in the direction of this gnome friend, or just somebody who's sort of like in the underground, and and so our Lorelei sort of joins the underground here, and that they help get him set up into pretend to be a miner, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I could see that, because I think he would need a lot of help.
So why don't we jump into the ability scores? Christian and I have a competition with our ability score rolling, so we alternate the rolls, and then we just kind of tally up who has the highest score.
All right, Jessica, you got strength.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, that's not terrible. It's not great. It's pretty bad, actually. That's 10.
I like how that went like from not bad to like okay to like who's doing dex? Ooh, 13, baby.
I've got Constitution, and I've got the additional pressure of this being one of the like key abilities for Lorelei. It's a 13.
I'm changing dice to see if my rainbow dice will be nicer to me. Come on, gay dice, let's go. They were meaner, so that'd be 8.
Let's hope that he's got some wisdom in order to get by here. He does. He's got 16 wisdom, baby.
Oh, wow. Not about the books, but definitely about the streets, huh?
That's right.
That makes sense, because he's like attuned to nature.
How did I end up with both of the like core
You
abilities?
have charisma. Don't screw it
Don't
up.
blow it.
All right. Oh, yes, we are great. That's a 15.
Hey!
Oh, sweet! And you get a +2 to that.
And that works so well for the paladin piece, the spy piece. I'm going to really pat myself on the back for that one.
Well, don't pat yourself on the back for too long, Emilio, because I have inched out a victory over you for the first time in like 3 months. Yes!
Yes.
I think I should get some credit for seriously breaking your guest winning streak.
Jessica came in with an 18. I had a 28, and Christian edged me out by 1 point with a 29.
Boom. Now that we've got our ability scores sort of laid out, and we got a sense of where we're going with this thing, we got to figure out what skill proficiencies we want to give to our Lorelei. And so with the spy background, we start off with deception and stealth. And then for the paladin class, we're going to be able to get to choose 2 more. And they are between athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. So persuasion is charisma.
I was thinking that in insight, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Insight.
For being a spy.
I wonder if we should say, though, like, why is this Lorelei really good at these things? Is there some experience in their sort of upbringing or background that made them particularly good with insight, like reading people and being able to kind of move them?
I could see it being that maybe they weren't formally a spy, but because of these natural abilities, they were the Lorelei that was picked to do a lot of the trading with the gnomes, right?
Okay.
They have a sense of people. They're very persuasive, so they can get good deals. So they were like, yeah, you should be really the one who handles these negotiations, these deals, these trades. And as a result, they developed those skills. They really honed those skills to be able to, maybe not be formally a spy, but to have that sort of skill set in their background. Well, Christian, Jessica, we have a character that's really coming together here. The ability scores have helped us to figure out, some of the more specific details. And now we're going to lay out the personality traits, the ideal, the bond, and the flaw. And also, we're going to include a Lorelei quirk.
Yeah, so the first personality trait we have here is I would rather make a new friend than a new enemy. And so, this Lorelei is a real friendly chap. And even though he's going to go on this dangerous mission and be infiltrating folks, at heart, he actually just wants to be close and kind with people, hence why he's been the guy who's been so good with trading and that sort of thing. The second personality trait we have here is the best way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. So there is a sort of stubbornness here, or a persistence that is sort of central to this Lorelei, because he needs to, it's part of the reason why he was chosen. He needs to go and fight the good fight in spite of really nasty odds. And so, of course, this is one of the reasons why he'd be out there.
For the ideal, we chose freedom. Chains are meant to be broken, as are those who would forge them. Jessica pointed out that as Lorelei have this great connection to water, water sort of just over time will wear everything down, will wear down anything you try to tie down or chain. This Lorelei really kind of is embodying that. And then for the bond, something important was taken from my people, and I aim to right that wrong. And that thing that was taken, is sort of the health and safety of the river and the place where they live.
For his flaw, if there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. I think it's really just that he might not understand it. And if there's a plan, he'll just be like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go. And it's like already gone.
Oh, this poor guy.
His Lorelei quirk is you attempt to form every group you encounter into a choir or a band. So on his way to those plans, he's scoping out his new friends that he's making, because he'd rather make a new friend than an enemy, checking him out. Like, so, do you sing tenor? Do you sing bass? Have you ever sung in a choir? It's really beautiful. It's a bonding exercise. We used to do it when I was a kid. So great. Let's sing together and just, harmonizing with them, whatever they sigh or yawn, and trying to make a choir happen.
We're moving along here. We're flowing like a raging rapid through this character creation. And the last thing that we need to do, the last eddy that we need to get past is, sorry guys, is the name for our Lorelei. And I love one thing that you mentioned, Jessica, which is the last name of Lorelei's tends to be the river that they're from.
So I added a thing that Lorelei are given names that often signify their musical or social accomplishments. Because it's based on a German legend, I put just a lot of German musical words. Selig.
What's kind of amazing about that is that's my grandmother's birth surname. I'm into Selig.
I like that, yeah.
And what does it mean again?
Blessed.
Aw. Hashtag Selig. What do we got for a river that would be fitting for Selig? I love it to be, if it's a river from our world, then perhaps a name not known to us, or the sort of indigenous name of that river.
So I'm in Pittsburgh. All we've got here are damn rivers.
We could just use something English as well that's sort of descriptive of the river. So it could be like Selig rushing forth, or Selig.
I like that.
Rushing forth. It actually is consistent with sort of his vibe, right?
Yeah. Like, he's running headfirst without thinking, but he's blessed, so he's gonna be okay.
And yes, he's #Selig. So what what if we say, like, rushing forth is the translation of the river he's from that's originally an Aquan name, but the translation to common is rushing forth?
Yeah, I like that.
Selig Rushing-Forth.
So we created Selig Rushing-Forth. He's Lorelei paladin, who's also a bit of a spy. He started as kind of a merchant and a choir boy, and now because of some kind of beastie, maybe a beholder, that is tricking or corrupting the gnomes that live near his river to do unseemly things. His river deity is sending him on a quest to infiltrate and root out what's going on and cleanse the river, stop the corruption. And he's not very strong. He's really not smart, but he's brave. And he's very charismatic, and he's very tuned into nature, and he's just Dexy enough to survive, and he's very good at making friends and singing songs.
Yes.
And he is going on this mission underground to save his village and his river.
Christian, do we have our character?
Yes, we do. And so now do all of you. If you want to bring Selig Rushing-Forth into your game, you can click the link below to download the PDF.
#Selig.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Jessica, for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have links to all of your stuff in the description. And as always, if you've been enjoying Let's Roll Characters, like and subscribe aggressively. And leave us a comment. We want to see some comments on the types of characters that you like to see, and also let us know what you think of Selig, if you have any ideas, if you'd like to bring them into your game.
Yeah, and thanks for watching.
Go play some games.
Boom, 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 boom. We often do a little groove and make up random sounds and music for this little bit after he says Let's Roll Characters.
Oh, I get to make a sound?
Oh, you get to make many sounds.
Oh, I can make sounds. If someone yawns and is like, ah, and he's like, ah.
That's amazing.